good time. Before I go any farther, this is game 2. Team First Bloods up against DEUS Knights. DEUS Knights bringing in probably one of the most insane compositions we've seen in the NACT thus far on the game that could knock them out. So the question is, can they pull this off? Can their wild card shenanigans actually do it? I do like the fact that Team First Blood picks up this Kaja, another very random pick, but it should do well against the Lancelot. So DEUS Knights want to think out of the box. That's fine. Team First Blood comes with a kind of out of the box picks themselves. Maybe not out of the box, but something that we don't see all the time. But I think it should work well. Darwin already taking a lot of damage in the CXP lane, but it's overall a pretty even trade. I'm wondering if we're going to see the aggression that I want to see from DEUS Knights early on, or if this Ballman is even going to try to bully like he did last time. It's not a Ling like what we saw in game 1. This isn't a Kai. He has the ability to withstand that lethal counter. He has the ability to withstand the Molten Core and some of that damage. So I think we have a little bit of a game here.
Oh, Darwin taken very low, is going to have to go back to base quickly here, but he will be back in time for this turtle to be up. We do see a little bit of a little hassle here. Hendrix over here does not get that pole landed onto him, so Kid is going to be able to get out of there without much damage put onto him. But you were just talking about this early aggression, and that's definitely something I want to see from DEUS Knights and how that they can kind of win this game. This is going to come down to, I say, from the mid game, it's going to come down to Joybaj on this Franco, and then Hendrix Loves All on this Atlas. This is like the eternal struggle that we've been seeing in North America with these two picks. It's always them taking each other on, and it always comes down to those two roams and how they're played.
I will say one thing about DEUS Knights right now, definitely pretty heavy end game. I mean, Darwin could have a nice mid-game spike on the Lancelot, even though he's in the XP lane. He could rotate, get some nice possible positions before we go any farther. Lord is up private.
Yeah, we used that real world manipulation come down. Anna has triggered that heavy spin, but is not able to get the turtle. Floor trying to disengage here, so we don't have any deaths there. Safe for both teams, but First Blood was able to pick up that turtle.
Team First Blood this time does get the first turtle. They lost it in game 1, but they are coming back strong, and this is the aggression still coming from Kid. He doesn't care if it's a Ling, he doesn't care if it's an Akai. I am gonna take your blue buff, and this is what DEUS Knights really needs to answer. They gotta do something about Kid on this Ballman. Big pick on the Darwin in that bottom lane. Definitely gonna be having a tough time, and this is that Kaja is gonna do wonders against Darwin in that off lane.
Yeah, right now, especially because it's not going to be something that's the Lancelot, but that Darwin's going to be able to negate is that ult from Kaja. So, I mean, the Divine Judgment is just going to be a huge problem. Oh, just getting against the wall there. Floor is able to clean it up. So, I mean, not a bad place right now. We do see, I mean, you are going to get a little bit behind because of Belmont stealing your jungle, but they're starting. I like this setup more. I like how they are at this point in the game more than I do last game. DEUS Knights? We do see that real manipulation coming down. Floor taking a ton of damage there with the assist going to Hunter on that Eve there. So man, what great presence and synergy. No! Landed on the multi-rose. Might be in a little bit of trouble. Is going to go ahead and throw down that stun to try to disengage. Is it going to be enough? Kid coming here. Multi-rose goes down, and Anna might be in a little bit of trouble trying to disengage and doesn't have the oomph in his steps. He is going to be picked up by Team First Blood.
And this is the problem with investing so much into the late game, right? You just have no real defense against the aggression. I really want to see a more aggressive EXP laner. Toy Boys with another hook, suppression lock, lethal counter, locks it in, and Hendrix goes down. Team First Blood is relentless right now, private, and DEUS Knights just can't seem to find an answer.
Yeah, and this is what we talk about with that value from that Franco. The hooks being landed, the different angles that they're coming in. Now we do see a 3-on-1 up at the top. Even at mid, Hunter able to go ahead and take down Sicilian. So we are going to have that mid tower going down. Multi-Rose in a little bit of trouble here. Why even go in on that? Hendrix, don't think about it. Leave. I think right now, DEUS Deuce Knights are kind of in desperation mode for trying to kind of keep up the macro for this game. Right now, though, you're in a similar position that they were last game. Just as I was talking about how good they were doing, all it took was this Joybaj to start going off, start landing. Oh, another hook does go wide by Joybaj here, but this is what we should have seen from the first game from Franco, and this is how you play it. This is how you maximize it and create that fear from all these different angles.
Fear the hook. It is definitely a real thing. As we creep into the 5.5 minute mark, we have a 4K gold lead, and just look at the side of Team First Blood right now. Like, we take a look at Kid. We already have the Curse Helmet in. Got Magic Defense Boots. We are already starting to scale with a 500 gold lead over the jungler of Deuce Knights, and Gina God Mode once again just dominating the game. We went straight for Blade of Despair. Just pure damage. Now it looks like we may be working on a Hunter Strike here, which definitely isn't the most common item, but definitely locking in some penetration. So just trying to go even harder against the bulkiness, and already with these kills, a huge play for the side of Deuce Knights here.
Yeah, we do see that Fatal Links coming down. Kid does get taken down there at the hands of Multi-Rose. And I was just going to say, like, the items that are needed by Multi-Rose, you're going to need a team effort to be able to take somebody down. And that is just what we saw from Deuce Knights. We were talking about the items there. Multi-Rose needs like about 3 items to really start taking off on this Maya, while that Blade of Despair already on Gina God mode. So, man, you've got an uphill battle. And this is what the risk you run when you go with these outside the picks. There's meta for a reason. There's people who shine in the earlier game into the mid game for a reason. And like you said, it's gonna take a heck of a late game for Deuce Knights to really kind of come forward with the animosity that they want to be able to take this game.
Yeah, I mean, I love seeing Deuce Knights pick things like this. I know viewers don't always, but I always find it very entertaining. The problem is sometimes the risk is not worth the reward, but a nice heavy spin.
Yeah, the heavy spin does go on there with that Thorned Rose Hour, but Anna goes down. He's the only one. Oh, what Gina God mode does go down there as well. Joybaz in a little bit of trouble here, is getting picked off by Darwin here. Kid is on the chase. A little bit of a taunt there as Maya at the mid lane, taking down this tower quickly. Darwin's not gonna be able to get away with that lethal counter, but I think the damage has been done, and Maya picks up a kill on the mage as well.
Yeah, getting that kill on the Hunter. This is over. Also going down. Fatal Links locks in. Luffy taken down. Multi-Rose getting another kill. It looks like Team Deuce Knights may be starting to hit that spike, but is it going to be enough? You've lost a lot. You do take one tower. Kid chasing down Fleur, keeping that omnipresence all over the map. You know, the fear from Franco, the fear from Baldwin right now. What I'm seeing from Deuce Knights is that they're grouping up. They're running a bit more pocket. They are losing people. They're losing a bit more towers, but I think their only way to take these fights is as a full unit. And I like the fact that they're quickly making this call on the fly, and now we're seeing them kind of just roam around the map together. We're no longer laning as much. We want to try to pick them off one by one.
Well, not just that, but they're answering this aggression. If First Blood is at the bottom, then Deuce Knights are at the top. And vice versa there. Maya doing the best to try to macro up from these towers, take it down with that immense amount of pressure that she could put on with that physical damage onto here. So, I mean, it's starting to look good for the side of Deuce Knights. It's just if they can maintain, and especially as we start moving into this late game where it's going to be more team fight centric.
Look at that right there. They're also already opting to give Multi-Rose the buffs now. Multi-Rose picks up red buff. So we're starting to see Deuce Knights even transition the way who's getting what. We no longer need Anna to get a red buff. We no longer really need Anna to get a blue buff, honestly. So Fluorescent will most likely be picking up these blue buffs as Multi-Rose picks up the red. Deuce Knights changing the way they form around. Lord is up now private. Deuce Knights seem like they are ready to contest.
No, we do have Kaja up at the top. Is he going to land that Divine Judgment? Doesn't even go for it. Is he going to go ahead and disengage here as we have both teams kind of jockeying for position onto this Lord right now? It does look like Team First Blood is in a little bit of a better position as Deuce Knights are all kind of grouped around, waiting to try to poke around and see what kind of vision that they can get. Both teams don't really look like they want the Lord right now. Hendrix Laval is going to go ahead and join out zone out Joybaj, and this Lord does get reset there. So kind of toying with our emotions there right now as this gets reset, and we're kind of back where we started for this fight. But honestly, a better position for DEUS Knights. They're just kind of poking it out. They want that bait. They want these teams to kind of come in for this fight. But we do see Darwin goes down to Gina Godmo, so this is going to put this at a 4v5. Oh, but with that Kaja hiding up at the top there, we might have a little bit of a gank here. Do we have that Divine Judgment coming out? He does come down, multi-rows up there, and this is going to open up this Lord for DEUS Knights right now. It is at 10%. Down comes that real-world manipulation. Lord is at 10% and picked up by Kid as Luffy takes out Annie as well. Anna, sorry.
What a play from Luffy there. You know, I was waiting for you to point him out because he was just sitting in that top lane bush, just waiting for the moment to shine. Comes in. Oh my god. Gina just deleted Fleur. Team First Blood definitely on a roll right now, showing why they're possibly the rookies who want this tournament bad. DEUS Knights falling behind more and more. Up in the top, a little bit of action. Lord coming down quickly. This could be the end, Private.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need to man up and get that defense figured out for the side of DEUS Knights, as we do have all lanes starting to crash in onto these inhibitors. This isn't a Luminous Lord, but right now with this much of a gold lead, they're at about an 8k gold lead right now, so you definitely need to watch out. We do see that real world manipulation coming down onto Fleur. He's trying to get away from there, and it does activate. That heavy spin is going to go ahead and knock out that real world manipulation, but we do have a ton of damage coming onto this bottom tower. Gina Godmo does finish it off, and look at the kills there. Anna goes down, Hendrix goes down. We are at 3 players down from the side of DEUS Knights. I don't think they're going to be able to stop this push. Multi-Rose does take down the marksman, but this is a GG for DEUS Knights, and well played to Team First Blood.
Wow. Team First Blood. I mean, you gotta give it to them, right? You have to give it to them. They played 2 wonderful games. DEUS Knights, on the other hand, they tried to get spicy in that second game, and I think it definitely bit them. And honestly, the spiciness may have worked, but the fact Team First Blood just answered it so well, I think, with that